extraction. Funny.
Honey oil.
Funny. Full extraction and water hash. Yeah. Ironic.
He's at it again. He's at it again.
Ironic. Yep. Oh, they're gonna be pissed when I send them a picture. Put the fucking laugh in the background. God. Yeah, they're gonna be pretty pissed. So then Trollmaster, 3, Think Pro 4, Mango Tech Store 5, Mango Tech Clothing. So we represent 6 companies out of this space, 16,000, 20,000 square foot, and then plus all the affiliate companies that we also work with to as brand partners that we promote. So all that out of here. So it should be pretty good.
This is your son right here?
Yeah, it's my son. Let's call him AKA Mina Mango.
What's
Tyler.
up, bro?
Tyler.
How are you? Cody, man.
What's going on, man? I'm Lance. Nice to meet you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
There's some more merch for you.
You want to see who's going to be a badass
Thank
grower?
you, bro. Damn.
I mean, coming up these days with this is your dad.
You got the
Oh, come on,
Thank
bro.
you.
You get the best of
Fucking did
both
on the
worlds.
pro
You got
clubs,
the
too?
craziest GC
Awesome.
bro dad. And then now you got
Thank
the
you,
other
bro.
side of the industry of we dealing with plants your whole life. I mean, think about what this dude's about to grow
Appreciate
into.
you, man.
Crazy.
Thank you, bro.
Dick.
We'll kill it. It's
Yeah,
the
but
takeover.
you know it. Mango's taking over California. Call it Cali Mango or is it avocado? There needs to be, but I'm gonna flash behind you. Let's go, baby! Woo! So once again, like I said, this project is a project between Mina Mango and Trollmaster. He's my partner in this facility. We use it to feature all the products that we sell, that we are coming out with, and we're also the beta testers for Think, Grow, and Trollmaster. We develop a lot of new products here, and we'll test them. And once people say that I got the good stuff, I get the prototypes. You guys get the good stuff. So that's what we do here.
How big's the building?
The full building is 20,000 square feet, 16,000 square feet is cultivation, 4,000 square feet at the front for the lab. That's the I guess you could call it phase 2. We have 730 lights in this space. 16,000 square feet of cultivation is really built for speed, meaning there's no storage in here, really small break rooms. There's storage is the Connex boxes that are outside. We'll store rock wool and stuff in there, like tools and stuff like that. Everything inside is stuff that needs to be inside. We even actually added this room behind you guys, which is the filtration room. We added that because we didn't want to store any of that stuff inside and take up valuable space to grow flower. So come with me, let's check it out. So we heard that they were going to make us recycle water. So instead of doing it afterwards, I had all the concrete saws here, the floor chopped up. So I stopped the project and I said, you know what? Let's just recycle all the water. Catch all the runoff, catch all the condensate, which is about 70-75% of your water, and let's refilter it. And then let's use it. Just do it. It's the right thing. We're doing it ahead of time, and it's just once again the right thing to do. So I contacted Hydrologic, and they wanted money for a model number of a filter. So then I went around and we find guys that can do what we want them to do. This guy was in the chemical industry, and he was for 25 years. He became into the cannabis industry, and they built these skids for me custom. You give them water that's been run off of a table, and they say, I need to purify this, and they custom make your skids. The guy's name's...
You designed it all yourself. You basically took a thought and then redesigned it.
They do this for a living. You know what I'm saying? I just told them what I needed, and I'm not that smart. I told them what I need. They're professionals. They do this for a living for all kinds of chemical companies, and then it pretty much looks like a Hydrologic, but it's not Hydrologic. I think, and it's just as good, if not better, and then less costly. So this is a runoff skid. This is the workhorse of the room. All the water that comes off the tables, we capture it inside. When those pumps are full, it jets the water into here, and it separates. There's a condensate runoff catch, and then there's a runoff from the tables catch, because this has got a lot of minerals. So this will purify the water to about 10 ppm.
So just to dumb it down, all the water that comes from dehumidifiers, all the water that comes from
ACs, mini splits, even in the office areas. I catch all that shit.
It all comes to basically a reservoir that then goes through this system to get filtered.
It gets split. We keep the condensate water that's cleaner from the ACs, from the dehumidifiers. We keep them in a vessel inside.
Which is
once that's full.
RO already.
basically, you know, not the first 2 months. First 2 months got a lot of oil from the manufacturing process and oil shavings and stuff like that. So the first 2 months we dump that water because we don't want to clog our filters with the oil. And you know, the oil, like I said, it just kills the filter. So the first 2 months we just dump it. You know what I'm saying? And then there's the bypasses up there that will change, and then we'll actually start filtrating the water. So this is the workhorse. We have a cascading system. When we have cheap 1 gallon paint strainers from Home Depot on top of every grill to catch broken zip ties, loose screws, anything that might be a solid that might get caught in an impeller on the jet pumps, we catch there. That's the first line of defense for any solid piece that might cause issue through the system. If it gets passed through there, we have a Hayward pool filter. Hayward pool filter that catches, it's like a basket strainer and it catches any other solids. And then this is designed to cascade. So if you can see, that's dark, you know, a little bit less dark and a little bit less dark. Looks the same color because it's wide, but it cascades. So this catches any of the salt solids fall, you know, any copper, magnesium, iron, stuff like that's in the water, or any dirt falls, and then the water that's up top is cleaner, it cascades into this one. Same thing, any more solids catches, and then this system right here is designed to prolong your filter's life because filters aren't cheap. So that's how this works. Then it goes into this filtration system that I forget all the dynamics about it, but that filters the water. It sends it, it catches through the pump, goes through a little filter back there to filter. There's a descaling agent. Then it pumps it through these membranes, and then this is what's really the workhorse in here. Pulls it through here, 5 micron, whatever, and then from here it sends it to a reservoir tank. It has a low and a high switch. Once it's high, it pumps it through the RO. So let's say that is that level. This is the condensate skid. This is the condensate skid. All the water from the ACs, from the dehumidifiers that are in the building, including clerical offices, it fills this tank right behind Cody. It fills this tank. Pretty clear water. Once this tank is full, it activates that pump. The pump sends it through the sediment filter, goes through a UV. By the way, I forgot the one over there has also got a UV too. They got about a year's life. If you can see back there, it says 349 days left on that filter.
Which kills microbials, bacteria, will kill anything that didn't get filtered already.
Correct. And then that does kill first before it goes through the filters. It goes through the UV to kill anything, and then it starts going through the filtration, so you don't harbor any bacteria in the filters. This is carbon. I forget what citation resin is, and I know this is crushed marble in here, so it goes through a process, and then it pumps it into that reservoir. Once that reservoir is full, it kicks it through the RO. The RO is pretty much the same skid as that one over there, but so this is really what really fine tunes the water from 10 to 0. We don't need water that's 0, so maybe a little too clean, but it is what it is. I can adjust it so it can still be dirtier. The ProChem container here is, a lot of people use hypochlorous acid in their facilities, and they put them in their Dosatrons. A Dosatron system is not cheap, and every piston is, you know, $300, $400, $500, $600. All the labor, and it occupies square footage on your walls. If you decide to do an Edatron, they're a lot more money. They're $1,200 and still occupy space on your walls. I got 9 systems inside. There's a reason for that, but I would have to buy 9 of those. So what I did is I actually filled this with hypochlorous acid. Before the RO water goes into the tank, I inject it with hypochlorous acid in one location, not 9. So I treat my water in this 10,000 gallon tank with hypochlorous acid at one location. And then the water in here is pretty much like a pool. You know, does a pool ever get, you know, algae? Not really. And if it did, they put pool shock, which is pretty much the same shit as hypochlorous acid to keep it clean. The water that gets pumped from this reservoir, 10,000 gallons worth of water, it keeps all the pipes clean, not just from the point at your Dosatron forward for you inject the hypochlorous acid. So this will make sure that the tank is clean of algae or of any slimy residue. If you guys been growing for a long time, you know you can have an RO tank and go into it in 8 months and it's slimy on the walls. Even though it's clear and your meter might say 4 ppm, 7 ppm, 10 ppm, you get that slime. Twice a year, January 1st, July 1st, we used to go into our tanks, disassemble them, scrub them, and then get them going again. So the hypochlorous acid does not let that happen.
This is like a buffer tank.
It's,
Everything is able to meet here before it goes anywhere.
before it goes into the building. And like I said, obviously it's expensive to house water. So this is why it's outside the building. The square footage that we pay rent on here is inside, it's producing water, it's producing flour. So this is outside. It is climate controlled. This is DPS panels wrapped around here with TPO on the top. So this will cool in the summer to keep it 70 degrees. And in the winter, if it gets in the 30s, it'll heat to keep the water at 70 degrees. 70 degrees is a good temperature for the water to be stored because it doesn't harbor bacteria. The hotter it is, it starts harboring bacteria, holds a little bit of oxygen, but that's another story for the inside tank.
Same with insects and everything.
Everything,
right?
exactly.
I mean, everything, when you go low in temps, they don't like it, and they basically, hard to multiply, hard to procreate, hard to do anything.
Exactly. Yeah. There is good and bad things about having the hotter the water, the more the filters can filtrate. You know, kind of like a dehumidifier. Dehumidifiers work at 80 degrees. That's where they're rated. How many pints? The colder it is, the less pints they process. Same thing with this filtration systems is the same thing. The colder the water, is harder water. Starting, let's say, the colder it is more solid, eventually freezes into ice. So the colder it is, the less gallons it'll do. That's a 16,000 gallon skid per day at a certain temperature. I think at 70 degrees it does 14,800, and the colder it is, it starts going down. So we keep it at 70 because 70 is a good temperature to keep, you know, to not harbor bacteria, it holds oxygen, and then we pump it into 2 tanks inside. We do like to hold at least 2 days worth of water minimum inside the facility in case there's some knucklehead doing construction, he hits a water main, and then you're out of water for a day, half a day, maybe even a full day. So that's why we like have it. Plus we recycle water, so we'd probably be good for 10 days because we recycle our water. Awesome. So that kind of works. Cool.
2 questions, man.
Yes, sir.
How did you learn? Because you're using 2 different methods of filtering. You're using like high technology, multiple filters, and then you're using almost like a ancient Roman reverse soil like system where the further you go down, the cleaner the water, but it's the opposite. The top pour drops off. Like, how did you learn this right here?
I'm not that smart. That's actually we hired professional people that work in the chemical industry. Like I said, I met these dudes, and Plum Dog Millionaire from 40 Systems, great guy to know. Him and I and James from Liberty Chemical, Liberty CES on Instagram. Follow him, good guy to know. He's the one that facilitated all this equipment. About a week and a half ago, we had him here, the guy who actually builds the skids, the guys who do the PLC to operate all this. They were all here getting this thing operating. But they're really the guys that, you know, you tell them what you want, you tell them what you want to get to, and they are the ones that kind of put the equipment together and teach you this. I learned, you know, it's pretty simple. It makes sense, but it's hard. You know, I wouldn't have thought about it, but no. This is what they do for a living.
Very
so
smart.
That's why we hire.
Very
you know?
cool.
And like I said, it elongates the life of your filters, you know, by like 3 times. So
Yeah.
cool.
Impressive, man. And these are to keep this so that if you have a
California, baby, California. But I think if this tank was to flip over, we have a lot more things to worry about. Besides
we're out here, we get to do laps inside the
This
gate.
is where they put Biggs when he's not hitting the numbers he needs to hit.
Yeah.
We put him out here in the barbaric cage and
we sit here, just
Get 'em
pace
ready.
around.
say, "Fo,
I'll
bro,
huff-
next
I'll
stop's
huff
the
those
pins.
crazy-ass joints."
Next stop's the pin if you don't get these fucking numbers up, bud."
This is cool, man.
This is just to buy time. This cage is something that I copied from Blue Goose, that facility over there. This was not something that I had thought out. Something that, you know, I do tour a lot of facilities. And over the years, I've toured so many that I always took a peek. You always learn something from even the shittiest facilities. Sometimes you learn what not to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyway, I tour a lot of facilities, and I seen this cage over there. And I said, you know what? This buys you time. Obviously, you have the camera that lets you know, hey, you know, you're 40 feet out, leave. But if they start coming, try to get into this door, they got to jimmy that door first, and that goes on a fob. So, or they got to start cutting the chain. So it's just buying you time for hopefully these cops to show up in time and keep these guys from doing any damage, because everything's pretty solid inside, you know.
And smart to not do the whole thing in this green so you can actually see them coming.
Correct, and the camera's got to be able to see and stuff like that. You got to see if they're climbing to the top. Exactly. Cool. Foot bath right where you're standing at. They come in here, they clock in, and they go to the locker. Yep. But before we go to the lockers, let's go. Yeah, you just took the paper off yesterday, so we got to do a little bit of cleaning.
Damn, it looks good, man. Look at this. Look at the molding. Look at the crown.
Just look at it.
Would you just look at it? People's houses aren't.
Look at this, look at that.
Most people's houses aren't this high. Look at this.
All you can do is look at it.
Exactly. Ed Bassmaster, big shout out. That's the running joke in our crew.
It's nice though.
This is the secretary's room. I might put 2 secretaries in here. We have a security closet. To get into this closet, you need a fob. Yeah, because this is where everything gets held, all the memory for all the cameras. We have about 82 cameras in this facility, inside and out. And California law, you gotta record them, keep them stored for 90 days. You gotta record 90 days. So there's a big bank of equipment that's gonna go in that rack. That rack's gonna go in and out. Yep, that's security locker. Small offices. This is an in-house accountant. In-house accountant keeps the out-house accountant honest. You gotta always have 2 accountants to keep yourself honest, because one's gonna embezzle from you. He's gonna open up a company and write himself a check, and you're just so busy in your everyday life that you're just gonna, sign checks. It's a company. You might not know everybody. If you have a lot of vendors, you might not know. You might write a check. You don't know as your accountant that opened up a company, and then you're giving them money. So 2 accountants is always
Real
good.
game.
And it's good when they don't know each other.
Real game.
Yeah,
That's why we can't give you this for free.
my mango office, nobody going in here unless you have a fob. So not many people coming in here. It's empty. Pretty nice size office, lounge couches for when the guys come in. Like if you guys would have come in a couple months, we'd have a couch. We could set up in here and chat. Obviously, big screen TV back there, so I can, 85-inch screen TV. The bigger, the better. Is right in the back. This is my office. This is my office. Desk over there, and then this is mission control. I can see everybody, and I can get on the phone and go, Tyler, get off the phone.
You need to get like an intercom and just be able to.
Oh, we are going to have
like a principal or something.
We are going to have walkie-talkies because the fans are pretty loud in the room, so we'll be able to contact people and just yell at them. Go, what are you doing? I'm going to mess with them. I'm going to mess with them and say, hey, just like my contractor friend, when I started working construction, he used to pull up to the job, nice, clean, 9:30 in the morning. I'd be sweating out there or tying steel. He'd come up to you and go, hey, you know what you're doing? You got a joint? Come on, let's go. That's what he used to do. Yeah, this is the smallest room upstairs, but I think this is probably one of the key rooms, understated room. Maybe I didn't say nobody, but very few people have this room in the facilities. So what's this room? This is the social media room. This is where all this shit's gonna be talked. We're gonna have 2 guys. One does graphics, the other guy does videos, and you're gonna have those nice expensive cameras right here. Like I think this is the guy Eric Nuck shots or whatever, and you're gonna have the weed over there, and he does like 1,000 shots with the thing turning and stuff like that. We're gonna do all that kind of stuff here. We're also gonna do product development or product tutorials for Trollmaster. We'll have a green screen, put somebody over that knows to talk about the product, how do you connect it, stuff like that. Same thing with Think Grow, equipment, Mango Tech clothing, whatever it is. We're gonna have a booth here, be able to take pictures. I'm going to be next door, and let's say F3, which is Flower Room 3, is coming down in a week and a half. I'm going to say, hey, XYZ video guy, whoever I hired, because the last 2 quit. Let's go down to the F3, and then let's go do a video. And then you'll do a video, talk about the girls, show the product, cut the nicest model out, bring her over here and put her on the Rolodex, and do whatever. So this room's, I like this room. This room's going to be pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
It's dope, man. Stuff that you're into that.
Yeah.
You got Mango Jr. on the social media here?
Yeah.
Or what? Yeah. You got you guys on the TikTok?
Yeah, by the way, this is slick number 5 drywall, something that you don't see, if you can see that. Slick number 5, smooth, baby.
It is nice, man. It's nice up here. I was waiting to see the bedroom.
The couch up there. There is a couch.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, that whole upstairs was an afterthought. When I built this whole thing, I went up there, and then I said, so much space. I said, you know what? I can't do off-site offices. I took it all down, re-engineered it, and built it upstairs and added all those offices. That wasn't part of the plan. So the locker room got shortened by the width of the stairs and stuff like that. But I got 5 extra offices upstairs. I don't have to do any off-site offices. There was a couple of things that happened. Once I spent $150K redoing this, and then we went for permitting. They denied it because 2.5 million square feet in District 6 had been spent. So I said, hey, this is not cultivation, this is clerical. They didn't care. So then we put it through distro because this building has distro. They says, no, that's spent too. So I was tripping out. I got Trollmaster here, and we're in a hotel room. I'm reading this email, so I'm tripping out. So it took me a few weeks to figure out how to do it. So when that became extraction lab offices, you know. So we were able to do it. A locker room, nothing fancy about that. We do have, you know, we do have two full bathrooms in this facility with full showers. We understand that people have lives. You know, shit happens. They have kids. They have doctor's appointments. They got to go to the DMV. And you know, if you're defoliating, shit, even if you're in this building, you're gonna smell like weed, and people kind of look at you bad. So we wanted to be able to provide bathrooms for the employees in case they work late. They're going to dinner. If I'm going to dinner late, or anybody that's gonna go somewhere else, they're able to take showers and they don't have to smell like weed wherever they go. You know, not everybody likes weed, and feel sorry for them, but you know, we wanted to try to use it. Yeah, come on in.
Come on in, man.
Dude, you know,
Take a seat on the toilet seat.
we can move Cody in here, bro. Hey, we gotta get something like this at the office. No, we already do got a shower at the office, man.
You gotta check out this
It is good, though,
this
because
fly
my
finish.
video guy,
You know, 'cause, you know, man,
I saw that.
the painter quit on me. The painter quit on me, and I had like 5 days left, so I'm gonna fucking get a painter in here to get a whole new bid. So no, Mango did, yeah.
But look, it's
Mango did good.
I mean, the way you did this too, this is restaurant. This is like some restaurant. I mean, this is top grade.
Dialed in, man.
What is this right here, Mango?
This is where the people come in. This whole wall's gonna have lockers over there. This is gonna have a rod, and then you're gonna close it. You're gonna change, because you're gonna change into mango color scrubs. You're gonna look like you're in an institution.
I like it.
Might put a number in your back.
Orange.
You know, employee number 1575, please report. So this is a vestibule back there. It's a vestibule. So there's 3 places where people can get, you know, changed. Like I said, full lockers. See if we get Cintas in here for scrubs. We want this. I will do a lot of tours here. I do tours on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 4 persons per tour. I'll stack up to 2 groups in the tour. A full tour takes 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours. Record's been like 4 hours and 20 minutes. Imagine that. But it takes me a full day. I don't do shit that day. I just do a tour, which is what it was built for. What was I trying to get to? I forgot. So anyway, this was what this place was done is for tours. There's going to be lab coats in there that we suit them up with, and then we offer a tour of the facility.
And it looks like all the lights are on motion sensors.
Yes.
Smart, man.
Yes.
Keep
Everything's
the electric bill right.
everything's on motion sensors. You walk in, it turns the light off. After like 5-6 minutes, it shuts them down. All LEDs. You know. Yeah, we try to stay with the latest. These will get painted. One of the last things are going to get painted by a mango orange. Why not?
I love how bright it is. It's
This
very,
is the legal entrance into the facility. Once I added the stairs over there, I couldn't do a man trap in California. You got to have a man trap in here.
Yep.
Another bathroom, same full.
Nice.
Full service, 2 showers, man trap. This is the conference room.
Dude, look at this, bro. Damn.
Sorry that the light's a little dim, but
Look at this right here too, bro.
I'll open it in a minute. You weren't supposed to do that.
There. Hold up.
so-
$1 million deals right here. Bro.
Hopefully.
Bro, this table. I'm gonna put some energy in this thing, man.
So the reasons, obviously, this is Trollmaster Blue. As you can see, Trollmaster got routed into the table. This is some maple, and then Mango Tech on that side. The mango, you know, collaborating together. By the way, when I drew this plan 3 years ago, I drew this table on the side plan.
Really?
Yes. You gotta manifest. You gotta manifest. This is called when they have this in the center. It's called the river table, And then they burn this. What they do is they put water on the table and they put electrodes and it burns and it eats away at this. And then they clean it out. So this is an estuary table because it's a river, but then these are little multiple rivers like mangroves kind of like thing.
Got it, yeah.
So this just sets the tone. This sets the tone for great meetings, for great energy. I mean, to sit down in here and be upset, I don't see it happening. This is...
So what's going to happen here, this room is a conference room. This is where people, when people come here to do a tour, they're going to get through the gate. The secretary will greet them at the cage, let them in here, lead them in here. And what you're going to do is they're going to come in here, you're going to sit down, and there's going to be a big TV over there that's going to show a loop that we're going to make like, a program that's going to run 10 minutes. That's going to talk about the facility, the products that we sell, what you're here for. Hopefully at that time I'll have people sizes and I'll have a goodie bag for those people that are here that's going to have merch. You know, I asked you what your size was. I asked you for what your size was. We're not there yet, but this is on the future. So everybody's going to have their goodie bag that they can take. There's also going to have all the literature for Trollmaster, ThinkGrow, and all the other affiliate companies that we have, and to contact people of those companies. And say, hey, here, if you want to buy grow light, if you want to buy innovative growth equipment, if you want to buy Moliere nanobubbler, this is the person, the salesperson that you talk to. They're affiliated companies with us. And then I'll be upstairs and I'll do this. And then this will come on. These were all planned.
And then hopefully some of this.
So like we all do, we'll go, oh wow, okay, it's pretty cool. And then I want to walk in. So that's, like I said, this is a little bit of planning, I guess, call it Instagram points. I think Rex likes to call it style points. I call it, IG flex, or, I did obviously do the nice, nice Victorian casing and some little wood rail, just to make it a little fancy. So then, you're looking right now at the mom tables, and that's the full bedroom, and bed is over there. We'll go in there in a minute.
And this obviously this window opens and closes so that if this is in dark or, I mean, you have tint on here. So
it's veg, so it doesn't really matter. Gotcha. It's veg, but yes, we are going to have double mirror tint, so they can't see in here and I can see in there. Like an interrogation room. Once again, worker number 15762. Do a lineup.
It's dope though to be able to sit in here and talk about the product or talk about products while you're seeing it happen while they're working in the, it's just next level. It really is. It's a visual learner. It's you're speaking to them, so now you're getting it's every sense of basically selling and being able to show the case the products. Look at this. It's a laboratory. You're being able to look at.
By the way, these are innovative grower equipment racks, elephant things. You can't destroy these things. Super rugged, super tough. We'll go in there in a minute. Let's go to the next spot.
A lot of forethought. Look at this. Look at this hallway. Hold on, back. Look at this, man.
Oh, man.
We got to get a
Come
photo
on, man.
there. Look at this, man. This is the best.
My dude's on. This feels like Nickelodeon in here, bro. About to get slimed or some shit.
A lot of Instagram people will I turn the lights down, I come here after work, I'm by myself, and I'll turn the lights off and I'll do some videos and stuff like that. And Rex calls it style points, I call it IG floss, but you know what? It's a little personalization, and why not? I'm saying you got to make a little bit of yours. So from those two doors that way is cultivation. This will be the cultivation office where you have the director of cultivation and the veg manager and the flower manager. A little small, but they shouldn't be in there all the time. They should be out there. If they need to get together throughout the day, they'll get in here, and I think there's plenty of room. So from here, this point that way, we have cultivation. I forgot to say something about this piece of equipment. Hypochlorous acid is being injected into those tanks at a certain rate. If that machine ever goes bonkers, somebody pulls the cord, whatever happens, there's going to be alarm in here that's an audible and a visual alarm that is going to alert you. So this is a main pathway. Anybody and everybody will be able to see this thing flashing and says, hey, that thing's flashing. We'll go into that filtration room and we'll address it because the filtration room is kind of outside. You're not there every day. So this is what lets you know what's in there. Once again, James from Liberty Chemicals was the one that provided us all this equipment. This is something that wasn't on the plans. I say, hey, James, if that machine over there goes bonkers, stops working, starts injecting too much acid, I don't want to kill my plants. What can I do? No problem. I got you. Put it together.
So much forethought. Like, what could happen? How it's going to happen? If this does happen, where do we go from here? How to mitigate it? it, how to circumvent it, everything.
Sorry for the mess. We're not 100% done here.
Dude,
Yeah.
look at this thing. This is the coolest tank cover I've ever fucking seen. And it's, look, it even has the clear vinyl to show you the gallons, because that's the first thing you think of is like, oh yeah, but then I can't see my, no.
Cool. Well, funny that you pointed that out, because here the real cool thing, style points or IG floss, is I have two lasers that I'm going to put on top of the tank. There's going to be a little hole, and it's going to shoot a laser beam into these tanks, and they're going to glow. Why are they going to glow? Because we have nano bubbles from Moliere. We have the Bloom model and the large model. They're injecting nanobubbles into the tanks, which makes it look almost white and milky, little tiny, tiny bubbles. If you go to, I've been to many places that have nanobubbles, and the way that they do it is they shoot a laser and the tank will glow. So obviously, if you're coming in here every day, every morning, somebody SOP is turn on the light and look at the levels of water. It's kind of hard to see a level of water because it's encased in a dark neoprene. Right now you can see it, but it's just, by the way, they're fixing this one panel because it was printed wrong, but he'll fix it. You won't be able to see the water level, so what you do is real quick, you'll shut off the light, you turn on the other light, a laser will make, you'll be able to see exactly the level of the water. The water level should always be at that overflow line. If it's down here, there's an issue. So then we'll address it at that point. Pelopolaire is the guy that on Instagram, he's the one that makes all these, I call him tank Koozies. And he hates that, but I forget the name all the time. This is some kind of neoprene that does not, it doesn't really absorb water, so it doesn't promote mildew growth. He sponsored this room and another tank room to be able to keep the temperature in these tanks optimum. Something that you don't see in here is you see penguin chillers up above the cap. We go through 7,000 gallons in a good day, but not at the same rate. One tank is at 68 degrees. The other one is at the 50s. So at day one of week 8, we switch a valve and we hit hit the plants with cold water, kind of like autumn. You know what I'm saying? Rain and autumn. So we start shocking the roots, and try to bring more vibrant or deep colors into the flower. So that's what that is. So
When you spoke about this unit, you just mean super oxygenated water.
Correct. So water out of the tap comes out about 4 to 8 ppm in oxygen levels at max. This will kick it up to 40. 40 now. They claim unreal yield increases on these, but it's mostly tested with leafy greens. Possibly believable, when they say 20%. I don't really think that's what we're going to have in cannabis, but I didn't really buy it for that. I bought it for the other benefits that you get out of it. A lot less nutrients. You keep your lines super clean, super clean. A lot less bugs in your root zone because there's oxygen. They don't like it. It's kind of like hydrogen peroxide on your cut. Same thing. A lot of oxygen in water plus the hypochlorous acid. I should never have any root issues here. Super clean white roots, better absorption of the stuff. Stuff that I've never used before. I did a lot of research, and I want to put it to the test. I want to put it to the test to see what works, what doesn't work, and what's worth it and what's not. And I'm going to talk about it. That's what this facility is built for.
Super cool. You can do one run with it, run with it.
I can choose different temperatures. There's a room that I'll show you. I have to call the Proving Grounds, and I got shit for that because it's a Proving Grounds in Instagram, but it's not a Proving Grounds in this facility. So I'm going to be able to test a bunch of different. There's so many tests that it's going to be kind of infinite. So anyways, we do have hot water. We have hot water for all the bathrooms, obviously, but we also have water that goes into every single room of the facility. So when we clean, we can clean with hot water. I then kind of try to get everything as fresh as possible.
Look at the detail.
Insulated.
Man, it really is so impressive.
It's almost done. They got to do a little bit more insulating, and then we also got to label what it is: hot water, cold water, and direction of flow. So we know. Cool. Small, like I said, I told you before, super small break room. It's almost finished. The guy that did the cabinets, he's got to come back. He's on vacation, and they got to finish his out. But pretty small for 40 people, so that's why we have the outside break room.
Ooh, so people are going to be able to actually see into your mom and veg room.
They're going to be able to see it. That's the propagation room.
Oh.
That's the propagation. Tyler, go and turn the light in there. And then come on, go turn the light in there, Tyler. Yeah.
Oh, wait till I see this.
Turn. I mean, Yeah, turn the light. And obviously it's not the grow lights, but the grow lights will be in. So you'll be able to walk through here, and this is what the propagation looks like from out here. I think he's gonna turn on the lights.
What are these racks?
These are grow glide racks. These are grow glide racks. There you go, he's got the.
Man. And you can see how you can change, and we'll go in there. You guys will probably like go in there with the camera, but look at, you can change 25. I'm guessing you could go all the way from 0 to 100.
Correct. And these are our Model V, 350 watt lights. What you can, school that you can see right here, see this right here? There's no outlets. This is all daisy chained.
Oh, wow.
This is all daisy chained. Not one light in this whole facility's got an outlet. They're all daisy chained. Oh, man. Saved thousands and tens of thousands of dollars in electrical contractor costs installing the outlets. You got to run pipe, you got to install the outlet, the gang box, then the outlet, then the bubble cover, all that kind of shit's done. Done.
And you created a new product.
My son's never installed lights in his life, never been a grower room. He came here, he installed pretty much all the lights in the mom room. And I'll go in there. You know, it's just interconnects. Quick connect. Super easy to install these lights, and yeah.
Wow. And then what's all this run back to? Just your
The electrical panel, yeah, we'll talk about the electrical panel, we'll go in there. So this is the propagation room. It's pretty cool that you
No
get to see.
outlets in here.
No outlets, no outlets, 0 outlets.
Seal on this.
0 outlets, yep.
2 outlets in the whole building. Yeah, that's interesting. That's only 25%.
Yeah.
What is it, 2?
So we're a facility that's sponsored by Trim. I don't know if you guys know about Trim Tech now. They got deleted on Instagram, so now it's Trim Tech, I believe, Trim.Tech. They're a software company that does data, and they also do metric, and they also do task management. So anybody, when they come in the morning, they're gonna come and they're gonna go to this, I think it's a 75-inch screen TV, and all the tasks for the guys in veg are gonna be right here. So even if the manager had to go to a doctor, whatever it is, he doesn't have to be here. They're going to come here, and then sometimes it'll be specific. Cody, this is what you do. Lance, this is what you do. Tyler, this is what you do. Or the defoliation group, you got to do this. It's on there, and then they'll go cross it off on the iPad or the pad, and starts taking off tasks of who did it and stuff like that. So this is we have one for the veg, and we have one for the flower on the other side. Wow. Cool. This is the propagation room. Yeah, this is the propagation room. The outlets that you see here are for thermostats. You know, I'm an old dog and I don't change tricks. This is to see what the temperature in my rock wool is. I don't use heat mats, but I believe on the temperature in the rock wool is more important than the ambient temperature. And if I keep my temperature, my rock wool within 2 points of what I like it at, if I make 6,000 clones, I may lose 5. And to me, it's attributed to the temperature inside the rock wool. Obviously, the humidity in the room. This is something new that we're going to do in this facility. Like I said, there's a lot of new tech in here. Super worried at times because there's a lot of news here. New tech, new employees, new nutrients, new technology. Hopefully it goes out without a hitch, but shit happens. We'll see. Time will tell. But this room's going to be no dome tech, so it means we're not going to do no humid domes. We have right here, we have an Amden steam humidifier that's going to keep this room at the optimum humidity that we need for clones. This is being operated by a Hydrox Plus outside, and it operates the mini splits, the humidifier, and the fans. Also, these are Thinkro lights. 350 watts, Thinkro. This is a veg light. Our clone light's not, what should I say, our clone system is not ready yet. We're going to have a clone system that we're operating on. There's a lot of new stuff that, sometimes stuff takes a few months, sometimes stuff takes a year or two to think about, develop, product, make, beta test and stuff like that, and then finally we get it to the consumer. The good thing about Thinkro lights is one of the things that is good about the Thinkro lights is they're obviously LED. They have some of the best diodes in the market. Samsung. They have a spectrum adjustability. You can dim them from the head or from the controller in 1% increments, all the way from 0 to 100. And also, this is what's pretty cool. Okay, the light still works too. By the way, all the other bars are on. and I took the bar off. So I get DMs all the time with Mango, you know, and they'll say, they'll take a picture of the light. This section went out. You know what? There's no light company that's perfect. Shit happens. But, you know, say, hey, you want to send me a screenshot of your order number? And we'll send you one of these in a box, in a cardboard box with a self-stamped envelope in there to send us the light bar back, so we can send it back and find out, see what went faulty, and we can learn from the mistakes. These lights snap in with a clip right there. It's pretty simple. This is the trick to this. She's already on, but see that little click? Okay, that click. Once it clicks, the light bar's installed right. Okay, it's not coming off. All right. There have some haters, you know, Mango. You guys know Mango's got a couple of haters. Somebody devoted to make a video about how the light bar fell on his things, and he just touched it like that. So this is, I think, video number 3 against you.
These were great though. This is a great universal light, man. This is a great universal light though for
Dude,
clones.
stand on top of it, Big. See that thing?
Killer. You guys, what about this though? Look at this.
You know, the funny thing is, there's some dude.
Biggs would still knock shit
There's
over.
a guy
I
in
don't
a
know if
road
this is
that
big
I-
enough
I'm the
for
guy who
action.
knocked the thing over. I'm the guy who's been DMing
Yeah.
him. He doesn't know that.
There's a
I'm
guy.
that guy.
There's a guy that harvested a whole room, and he hung all his plants on the fucking light bars. And I go, listen, that's a great testament of how good the light bars are being held on, but please don't do it again. I mean, they're not designed to do that. You know what I mean, if you do it all the time. So these are grow glide racks, grow glide rack propagation. They're propagation racks because they have wire. A lot of people that are going to do soil beds will use this, because then they'll do the cloth beds in here. They're designed to be flat, and as you can see, they roll easy peasy. Pretty cool.
This is epic, man.
By the way, I can do north of 30,000 clones in here, in this space. Wow. It's 15 by 15 by 15. I don't need to get up to the top, because I only need 7,000 clones. So I only need the first 3 racks to get what I need. And if you get into a stepping stool, really, I can pretty much service my clones. There'll be a little ladder that's going to be in here, a little 2-step stool that you can service these. Another good thing about Thinker LEDs is you can group the lights as long as you work on them with a controller. What do I mean you can group the lights? Up to 10 groups. So I'm going to give you perspective. There's 6 racks in here. No, you don't have to do that. 6 racks. So these first three levels I can put at a certain strength or certain spectrum. Same with this one, that one. So if I don't need that up there, you know what? Maybe I have some teams that I'm holding for somebody, and they're a little bit more robust. I can put them on that level and turn that intensity of that light up to not weaken his plants and keep them optimum level. So I can do up to 10 groups, and I can do from 1,000 lights with the Hydrox Pro, 100, or 250, 30, and whatever numbers. You just address them through the button, and Hydrox Pro and Hydrox Plus can do that.
Wow. So clean, so efficient, even all the way up where it's spaced out up to the ceiling.
So remember I was telling you that there's no outlets? There's the feed that goes to the light with the interlock, the blue clip. The blue clip. Somebody fell, okay? And somebody fell. So then the daisy chain kind of goes with it, yeah. Okay. Yeah. If not, you would have to put outlets, you know, at all locations of the lights to be able to plug them in. And once again, you got to pay the electrician his labor. Electrician's $85, $125 an hour. The conduit, the clips.
Spraying, if you want to do a foliar now, you're not spraying directly into an outlet. You know
Correct.
what I'm saying? The humidity in this room is going to be really high as well, so the less outlets, the better.
100%. 100%. So let's go into the mom room. Hold on. Let's back up a minute.
Look at this.
I forgot to do this. This is Instagram floss. Boom.
Damn, that's like a custom computer right there.
It is, and it's kind of, the funny thing is that as I'm doing this, I mean, some of the things happened by mistake, by accident. We were actually in the hallway, and we were going to install the BFDs. This is a BFD, it's a variable frequency drive. This operates the high velocity fans that we have in the rooms. These are OMH, these are pretty much contactors in our world. Contactors, and they operate all the fans. And I'll show all this in the next room. I won't do it in this room. So this was housing this thing, and I said, you know what? I told the guys, you know what? This is a metal case that went on here. I said, you know what? Let's get some butterflies so I can take this on and off and when I do a tour. And the guy goes, God, it'd be nice if you had a plexiglass piece. It'd be cool. And I go, don't install shit, okay? Do it tomorrow. I'll be right back. Give me a metal cover. I went to a company, whatever plastics, and I had them duplicate this. And then I stayed late that day, and I masked everything off, and I painted the inside white. Went into Amazon, and I ordered the Trollmaster blue LEDs, and added an outlet in here, and this is what we got. You know what I'm saying? So, Instagram floss. So these BFDs are well labeled for us. They come pre-programmed, and they talk to all these fans. Some say there's same do these. So a guy's going to come in here and spray. A guy's going to spray. You know, usually he goes to the panel and starts turning off breakers or switches if you upgraded. How many times have you drove home and you're almost home and you're thinking, fuck, I forgot to turn on the fans or turn on the lights or whatever, turn on the strength of the light. So you got to make a U-turn, whether it's
go back anyway.
10 minutes or whether it's 2 hours away or whatever it is, you got to make a call to somebody to go turn the shit off. And obviously experienced growers been through this. So I told Trollmaster we need a spray mode. Spray mode. So what you do is the guy come in here and he pushes on the Hydrex controller right here. He pushes, boom, he pushes spray mode on the controller. So what that does is, that does a couple of things. Let's say your lights were 85%. Now we have LEDs, we don't have HID, so you can dim down these things to 1%. All these lights are 1%, still bright in here. And it'll shut off all your fans. So you come in here and you spray, you're done with that. Obviously you have to spray the room one time to let you know how long it took you to spray the room. After a predetermined amount of time, the guy leaves. And they say it took him 30 minutes to spray the room. At minute 35, fans turn back on. Start drying your plants. At minute 40 or 45, whatever you set it to, the lights go back up to the predetermined strength that you had them, whether it's 85% or 100%. Nobody ever has to come back and say, fuck, did I turn the lights on? And drive back to say, you did, so that's spray mode.
Wow, and even if you want to do 3-4 hours, you could leave them off for that and have it.
You can do whatever. You set it. You set it to whatever it is that you want. So this is the mom and bedroom. Every room has, or most of every room has different rackings. At one point, I had all the racking companies in here. A couple of them have left, but I think I kept the best ones in the facility. It goes back and forth, you know.
I know, and look how much you're moving, how much equipment, it's all moving together, stabilized. Talk about these fans and this ventilation system, because this is very high tech, how this moves through the whole area.
All right, so people started doing multi-tiered growing a few years back. I'm gonna say 4 or 5 years ago. And 4 or 5 years ago, and what happens, one of the mistakes that I believe that people do is they try to pack a room too much. So I personally like to at least leave enough room in the aisles to operate 2 sides at once. It's just more efficient. Guys can get, you know, they can work together instead of just having one. Plus, when you leave the room, these are spread out evenly to where it leaves alleyways for the air to flow. These horizontal air systems were a great innovation. It distributes air evenly through the canopy. When I did this room, I put all my fans staggered in the back Yeah, the sock. And we'll turn them on in another room.
Cleanable.
Yeah.
You can pull those socks out, you can clean them, you can wash them, you can replace them, you can do all that.
If you wanted to, you could take them off, put them in the wash, or you can get a new one, you know, at that point in time. So you see the high velocity fans in the back, that one's all the way in the back. The next one would be in the other aisle. They're staggered between aisles. One in the back, one a little bit farther, and they all point this way. And I got made fun of on Instagram, he put the fans the same way. Obviously, as a multi-tier room, the vortex shit ain't gonna fucking work. They didn't know that. But all the air comes this way through the ceiling. All the return grills are, for the ACs, are in the back, and then they deliver cold air throughout. Those fans push the cold air this way, hits the dehumidifiers, it mixes, it hits that wall, comes down this way. These fans right here catch the air that's been already environmentally acclimated, conditioned, and then it sucks it through the canopy and blows it down through CO2, because also the CO2 is right here. So all this is a mixing box right here, and it sends it through the canopy. I didn't stop there. I went underneath the racks. There's fans below. There's fans at every stage, and half of the room points towards the right, and then the other half points towards the left. So you're not just recirculating hot air in an area. You're kind of doing like a vortex, but up and down.
And you're using Netafim, is that what this is?
Yeah, this is all Netafim drippers. And I took the time to, I don't put my drippers on the outside like most people do. You just have two long hoses. What I do is, for example, I take the time, go here, and it doesn't need to, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that a cube goes here, because here's your dripper. And this is veg, so they only get one dripper, and the other one gets one dripper. So short hoses, so when the guy sprays, he doesn't get them tangled. And pretty much the placement of the drippers tells you where the placement of the block is. So everything should be symmetrical. Wow. These are Model Vs, once again, roughly about, I think it's 32 inches from the top of the tray to the bottom of the light. Way plenty of any light to be, for any plant to be ready to move to the flower room. In this where we have the mom area. Go ahead and switch it out. The stuff that we had to work with TrowMasters, tier racking systems, a lot of these foam cords to make sure that, a lot of people don't put more than one sensor in the room. This room has got actually 2, 4, 6. It's got 16 sensors. We have 2 in the front, 2 in the back on the bottom tier, 2 in the front on the second tier, and 2 in the back in the second tier. Because I want to make sure that I show people that there is a way to build a double tier room properly where there is no microclimates, where the top tier has the same humidity range as the bottom and temperature. I did a test on my biggest room with 8 sensors, and I thought it was going to be 2 points or less, 2 degree points and 2 percentage points. I was 0.4 off, top to bottom, front to back. Obviously, the real test will be when we have a full canopy, but I was super happy on the results just from an empty room and running it for 2 hours that it was the same. So pretty happy with that. As you can see, once again, here you see the staggeredness of the fans, and there's a reason for that. Once they're all spaced evenly, that fan's actually going to draw air through here. So as the air's coming through here, it's also sucking it up. So we have a pretty much a good mixing box in here of the space.
And so the plants will come from the propagation room into these, and then from here into this, basically as it scales up. Is that how it goes?
Correct. So back there where Junior's at, there's going to be a stainless steel table back there where guys do clones all day. Stainless steel. They come here to the moms. I do my moms a little bit different than everybody else. I make my moms, once I clone them, I kill them. They're done.
One time.
One time.
One good cloning session.
One time, because I want the stuff to be soft and herbaceous, not like a topiary and woody and small clones. I don't like them that way. So after one time, I clone to kill, and they're done. Obviously, take the best ones. If I need 1,000 players in a room, 1,000 flowering plants, I'll make 2,000 clones. From those 2,000 clones, I'll pick the best 1,500. I'll put them in 6x6s, and they get to try out. And then eventually, only AAA clones. You should have a canopy that should be razor straight, laser level, with that many. So I have plenty of moms, and then I get new product all the time. Plus, it's easier to maintain moms, less pathogens, less issues. Because the younger the plant, the easier it is to spray and stuff like that. These are TrowMaster sensors. This is the 4-in-1. You can see what your temperature, your humidity, your CO2 levels are on the LCD screen, and you can also see it on the controller. You can control your room by one of them. You can pick one, or you can control each zone, or you can control the room cumulatively. Is that the word? With like an average of all of them, and you can make your room hotter or colder, or the humidity raise or lower with an average of all of them. So it's definitely functionality and choices that you're able to do with the TrowMaster controllers is amazing. These are your par meter sensors. It'll tell you what the strength of your light is. For example, let's say you have cookies here, you might have something else over there, or something else over there. You can use.
Extension, so you don't even have to hold it out. It's not
Correct.
even a physical thing.
And I can go over there, I can go over here. If I want it out of the way, I can go here, lock it down. I can raise it. Something that I came up with is just a spacer with PVC, some electrical clamps, and
So
Works out pretty good.
This will raise with the canopy. So as your plant grows, you can tell what your optimal PPFD would be at
Correct.
at top. And so if this is sitting at the top and you bring this over, right, and the plant's right here, and you say that I could actually go 200 or let's say it's 700, you want to go to 900 or 1200, you would just turn the light up, and then you always know, no matter where the plants are, you take an average and you can always dial it in. Everything you're talking about, even this, right? It's such a dialing process. It's like I can dial in each room, I can dial in each row, I can dial in each tray, I can do this. It's
Correct.
It's such a breakdown. Nothing is not getting the right attention at the right time.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time, exactly. Obviously, they come with a little cap, so if you're going to spray, you can cap it, which is pretty cool. Model H for the moms. Model H for the moms. Model H is that 630 watt light, adjustable with the deep red spectrum. So you can, in here we'll take the deep red off, so it'll be almost like a metal halide. Metal halide. So this is all pretty much going to start mostly whites. It'll run mostly whites. Same thing, same scenario. A lot of diodes in here, and if you get a couple of diodes to go out or a section that goes out, we'll replace it for you. And then listen to the snap. Okay, it's not gonna fall off.
Quality product.
Pretty cool. Let's go back to this corner over here. There's a lot of space here for a reason.
Reservoir Koozies, these floors.
Yes, reservoir koozies. These are pretty clean. They're gonna get sanded one more time, and then the logos. There's gonna be a Trollmaster logo here, ThinkRow logo here. Right where the camera guy is standing, there's going to be a circular Miami Mango Cannabis, and the highlight of this room would be Innovative Growers Equipment in that big area. There's going to be their logo over there to be able to highlight. So every company is encouraged to come here and do videos of this place. When they do videos, they can video their logo, they video their equipment, and I guess what's the word I'm looking for?
You know who got here first, though?
Who?
First smoke of the day.
Huh? First smoke of the day. There you go.
I love the going bottom reservoirs too, so everything drains down. You can literally get to the top and spray it down. I mean,
I don't know if you noticed too, though. I don't know if you noticed either, though, that they're lifted on paver bricks. There's 3,000 psi, and there's a reason for that. So the metal doesn't sit on water and rust your floor.
yeah, because no matter what, it'll eat through.
Well, it'll just start fucking just rusting, and you're gonna see a rust bucket. This room's gonna be in the 80s with 75% humidity. When you pump cold water, that's in there at 68 degrees in here, that tank's gonna sweat. So the Koozie minimizes the sweating. You're still gonna have a little bit of water, and all your metal's gonna start rusting. It's just what's gonna happen. That's why you see all these pipes insulated, not just the hot water, but I insulated all the cold and all the feed water, because eventually, if I didn't,
Pool noodle.
yeah, expensive ass pool fucking noodles. Those are white, just fucking like a 2 month, 2 month wait, 8 inch thick for the big one. But yeah, because if not, what would happen is if I didn't insulate that, if it's so hot and humid in here and that's cold water, it'll be wet all the way around, all over every year. So you got to try to get in their mind and think about this stuff. That's what's going to happen. So anyway, let's say tomorrow we're transplanting tomorrow. So say, hey guys, we're transplanting tomorrow. So the guys come in the morning. The first thing they do is they go to these Dosatrons. By the way, the top Dosatron system is for the moms, is out of the way because it's barely ever going to get touched, because the moms is just pretty much the plants in their high teens, and they don't really need not much maintenance. So the bottom one is what's going to feed the vegetative plants, but we're going to hydrate cubes. Okay, so we're going to bring roughly 3,000 cubes in here. So in the morning, say, hey, we turn a valve and we start filling those tanks. Those 2 tanks are there, 500-gallon tanks. If I have 3,000 cubes, I know I'm going to fill those things 3 times in total to get to 3,000. So what you do, as soon as you start filling those, you're going to go with the somebody's going to go with the forklift to the Connex box, start taking the pallets of Rockwool, and they're going to bring it to the back door. Somebody's going to get a pallet jack, and they're going to bring the pallets of Rockwool here. That's why this is so wide. Somebody says, wow, you left a lot of space here. You got to think there's going to be a pallet or pallets of Rockwool that are going to be in here. And as these guys are laying the Rockwool and all the tables, those are filling, and then they're put in the drippers. So once all that's done, then you got to come and hydrate all these cubes. When they hydrate the cubes, they start sucking water out of one 500-gallon tank. Well, why not two? Because if I run the two tanks out, then I'm gonna have a bunch of guys with their dick in their hand holding, and you're paying them by the hour. So we don't do that. So they draw from one tank. When that tank gets empty, they draw from the other one, and then they go back to filling the next tank with the recipe, and then you can add stuff like that. Every other rack, let's say, so because you can feed from one spigot, you can feed this side, you can feed this side. So they're gonna put a hose back over there, and then they're gonna hydrate, not hand water. It'd be hand watering and had a plant in the cube. So we're hydrating cubes. It's a big difference. So we're gonna be hydrating the cubes with a six head hose and go down and get them hydrated, ready to take the clones.
Epic, man. And all the hallways are wide enough for pallet jacks. And
Yes, correct. Yeah, 8 foot wide for sure. Yep. And another thing, good thing that you said, we have 8-foot doors. We have 4-foot wide doors. Why 8-foot doors? Because if you don't have an 8-foot door, you can only carry 24 to 30-inch clone, or teen, should I say. You're only going to carry 2 levels. But if you have an 8-foot, you'll be able to get a 3rd tier in that nursery rack. So every time that you do a trip, it's like you're carrying a rack and a half. So use tall doors. A lot of people say, you don't need tall doors. Yes, you do. It's for efficiency going in and out of the rooms with nursery racks. It helps. These are the 2 reservoirs that are, there's 2 locations in the facility. This is what gets filled. Most rooms have 4 sinks, 4 floor sinks. This room most rooms have 2 floor sinks. This room happens to have 4. 2 right there, 1 in the back of the room and 1 over there. One of them for condensate in here, the other 3 are runoff. So once these pumps that are put underground, you fill up, they jet the feed to the filtration room. If there was an issue, like a screw got missed and it went through the rings, what would happen is this would tell you that they're overflowing, and then you can address it, figure it out, what you need to do.
And then the odd man out gets to jump down in there? Or?
And fix it out, yeah. Yeah, exactly. So these...
I retired from that job.
Yeah. These are the cabinets that we house the AquaX and the HydroX Pro, AquaX Pro.
Dope.
The AquaX Pro right here will handle 300 solenoids and 300 sensors. They could do this whole facility, but I kept one here for the veg manager, and one for the flower. Okay, cool. Thank you.
We got these at the facility, man. We got these on order at our spot.
Yeah.
I'm stoked.
Yeah. Yes, they should be getting delivered. So this is almost finished. They got to do a little bit of Ethernet cable and just clean this up, but that's pretty much what it looks like. And by the way, these do have passwords. So the veg manager and the cultivation manager and anybody you'd have a password, so somebody can over here and sabotage, because that does happen, believe it or not. I get calls to the DM Mango. I fired a guy. He's remotely accessing our stuff. What can we do? They usually have the Hydrox Junior, the original model, and you can't do that. So we got to upgrade them to the Plus or the Pro, and then reset up their new parameters and new codes and stuff like that. Hydrox Pro environmental controller, modular. Actually, pretty simple and easy once you get to it. You only buy what you need, not anything more. I believe this is 5 AC units, dehumidifiers, BFDs, and then the engine humidifiers, steam humidifiers. If something goes bad, you go to a closet, and this is like $100. You don't need to get your PLC guy and call him and get a $2,000 overnight ticket.
At midnight even.
Or whatever. And, shit happens on Fridays.
Yep.
Fridays and Saturdays when the shit breaks. But you can go over to the closet, you can pop this out, you can put it back on, readdress it, and you're back in business.
Yeah, 4th of July, holidays, it's always those days, and then you're like,
That's when this shit happens, exactly. That's when this shit happens. So I think we're done with the veg. By the way, all these doors will be painted orange. And one of the last things, we'll go this way. This is distribution. Distribution is this is distribution in this room. It's a little small, but it'll do. It'll do its job from here.
This figure. Hold on, wait.
Yeah.
Let's run that backwards on. Hold on, I'll do a little boomerang. That or go alive.
Don't make me go to the windmill. Ready? Bam. All right. Every room has got its own Dosatron. There was a reason for that, and there is a reason for that. It's one of the things that's been on the list for a while. Every room's got a Dosatron, and there's several reasons for that. One of them is eventually we will have a dosing system. Trollmaster will have a dosing system. For right now, we're using good old faithful Dosatron. Is like pneumatic, or it works with water pressure. A lot of people use overcomplicated systems that if you don't have somebody in the facility that can work it, then you're not feeding the plant. So I think everybody knows how to plumb here in this space. So it's something really simple that we can all know how to work with, and the plants are going to get fed. This is interesting for a lot of people. How come even Jason Patrolmaster says, I still don't understand why you have 2 sensors of everything. And I kind of explained it to him this way. We have a life expectancy of 60 to 75 years, right? 60 to 75 years. Plants no different. 63 to 77 years, 9-week, 10-week, 11-week strain. So you two have been friends for a long time, okay? Let's say that, you went to prison for 10 years, or you got cancer and, you got held back. So same thing with the plant. The only way you're going to know if these things are whacked when your plant starts getting burned, and you go, well, what's going on? What's going on? And it's not the first day because you see it on a plant, so it's isolated. Then you see another plant, and then you see 3 or 4 plants. There's an issue. By the time you figure out that your pH pen is 4 or 5 days into that issue, and it's going to take you 4, 5, 6, 7 days to get out of that issue. It was 8 days, 9 days, 10 days, 2 weeks of that plant's life that it wasn't at optimum level producing. So it lost. If it lost 10 days, it's 10 years of its life. So it's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you understand? So this keeps this one honest, this one keeps this one honest. So if these numbers aren't identically the same every morning, SOP, somebody's got to come and check, you got to be reading the same, then you pop them out, you come over here into this table that we have next to every Dosatron, and you're going to start calibrating all this stuff. You're going to put it back in there, and they should read back the same. If they're not reading the same, then one of them's broken. You're going to get the tiebreaker handheld and find out which one is wrong. You remove it, and you put a new one in, and they should match. So you should catch any issues in one day, not multiple days. That's why I have the double. We have an open port here because we're coming out with DO and ORP sensors. So this is actually going to get changed to a cross because we're going to have two new sensors.
You guys have so much great products. I love how this is compartmentalized too, where if this goes down, this can be undone and dropped out, and vice versa for every single piece, and can be replaced without having to break the whole system down.
And the way this is set up, I only really need 2 pistons. You're gonna hear now, I've been working on a new nutrient line for a long time. Probably won't be released for another year, but you only need 2 parts, 2 pistons, which is the base and the bloom, and base and the grow for the veg.
How do you keep up with all the new products like that you're inventing? Like two things, how does a person keep up with it? Like how do we stay on top of like, oh, you're dropping this, I want to try that?
I usually will let hints out when it's time.
Okay.
When it's time, because what happens is if I let it out too early, then people go to the stores and bother the stores, and then I hear it say, hey, this is coming, they want it. And then what happens is they start, I want to plan, I'm building my facility, I want to plan for it. People all the time, the lifters, the lifters be coming out since we debuted them at MJ Biz last year. I mean, it's almost been a year. So it's like, I tell them always soon. I don't have an answer because there's so many variables. I mean, you got to get the ETL listing. Shanghai closed down because of COVID. ETL listing offices in China is in Shanghai. When are they going to open? Whenever the fuck they want. So I don't have an answer for you. Yeah. So if I tell you, yeah, Lance, you know what? The lifters are going to be here in 6 weeks. You plan everything for that light or that lifter, and then they're not here. Who looks like the ass? This guy. So I don't want to look like an ass. So I just tell you, just do your thing, and when we drop them, we drop them. And, that's when they're going to be there because it's happened in the past, and I don't want to do that to anybody.
And then I just figured out how this whole thing works. You ready? Mm-hmm. See this guy?
Little mini dozer.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for this guy, who knows what would be going on right here?
Yep.
You know?
Chris from Dosatron is the one that comes by and sneaks in and puts that in there.
This is
So,
hilarious. Holy hell.
So that's the way that this works pretty much. So we will begin some kind of dosing system in the future. First room, F1. What we're going to do is we're going to have Tyler, my son, Mango Jr. We're going to have him turn on the bottom fans first. Right now, the only thing that's on in this room is the AC. That's the only thing that's on. And as you can see, we have air movement, pretty good airflow. If you look throughout the space, all these flags are moving. That's good. Go ahead, Tyler. Turn on the bottom fans. So all the tables have fans below. If you look under here, okay, all these fans, and then you're still really feeling the air. Are they all on? Let me check. Yep. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, any type of under, they're going to be moving so much air under the corner here, under the canopy. Wow, look at this.
So half of the fans are going on a 45-degree angle towards that side, and the other half of the fans, the other half of the room is going the opposite way. So the bottom underneath the carriages is the mixing box. We're going to have now Tyler turn the high velocity fans on. As you can see, the fan blade, there's so much air movement that the fan blades are moving. If you look at that one or this one right here, Cody, the fan blade's moving. Now, Tyler, top ones, turn them on. So now he's going to turn on the, he's going to, right now. Hold on. Hold on.
Oh, man.
Hold on, wait.
Preferred needs a room he can just hang out in like this. Let's go.
Mango will fly a kite. I'm going to fly the kite in here just because I can. Not that it needs to be, but I'm going to fly a kite in here. All right. So you feel a lot of air here, obviously, right?
That's awesome.
But if you come this way, come this way. You know what I'm saying? Big difference. It's just passive air. Now it's just passive air. It's not really blowing on you because it's hitting that wall, it's coming down, and the suction is what's pulling the air. It's not blowing.
Yeah, it's pulling the air universally like this.
Exactly, it's pulling the air. It's a difference.
That's incredible.
If you look at the. It feels different in here. Everybody sits over there and goes, wow, you're going to burn the leaves, but you come in here, air's being pulled through, not pushed through.
Look, you can see them all. They're all going straight sideways.
Look.
They're going down. It's going sideways and look, right back up.
Exactly. When it goes back up, it goes into the intakes of the air, and then it gets conditioned, and it gets blown back out on top to do it again.
And even the humidifier right here on the wall,
Correct,
so
exactly.
it picks right up and carries.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Even in the middle of the table, look at the middle of the table. These are tight. Look at the air's going that way. So some of the air does come through here. Some of the air goes underneath. And it's a mixing box. Tyler, lights. 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 Yeah, we can turn those down too.
No, you're good. Look. That's why I was like, stay in here. Look.
Turn those down to 50. Tyler, 50%. 50. This is when you need the mango Versace's. I'm gonna have to hand some of these out. Woo! Eye protection, very important in here.
I'd be so happy if I was a plane right now.
Oh, how's this environment?
Go.
Let's go, baby. He's turning the fan. So he's starting to turn the fans down.
Yeah.
The these fans will probably operate at 50%. I do it for the dog and pony show. We run them at 100. But I want people to sit here and go, wow, he's gonna burn the plants. And then you go in there and you go, oh, okay, it's not blowing anymore, it's pulling air. And you want it to pull because it pulls through the canopy. You know what I'm saying? Instead of blowing through the canopy, you're pulling. There's a difference when you're doing pulling and pushing air. A lot of people don't understand that, but you will. So he's turning those down now. So they're gonna be, and you can hear now, he's turning down the Cessna. But Mango is gonna sit on a beef chair on one side, and I'm gonna get a mango colored kite, and I'm gonna fly this bitch. While I sip on Coca-Cola, not Pepsi. All right, so we're gonna go to the room next door. The room next door is an identical replica of this room, but mirrored image, with, oh, you know what, but with 2 feeding systems. Before we go to that room, I almost forgot, let's go to the last table. Let me show you guys this. Yeah, hey Tyler, kill the fans, all the fans. I just want that ladder to fall. All right. So every strain that comes into this facility where it's fucking been 20 years, been growing like a mango or any OG or whatever it is, or any new strain that we breed here, because we're gonna have a breeding project here, and we have a pheno hunt room here, it's gonna go through this table first. The reason why is it going through this table? Once again, HydroX Pro, HydroX Plus, combined with Think Grow LEDs, you're God to these plants. You can do spectrum control, many light recipes, and with the AquaX now, you can manipulate the irrigation in these plants like there's no other. So let's say that we got a new strain, call it freaking the Land Special. So we got the Land Special as a new strain, and we're gonna put 125 plants into, and it was the Pheno that got selected. We're gonna put it on this table, and we're gonna try to figure out what that plant likes. So we're gonna put 125 plants here, and then these 2 lights, because the Think Grow and Trollmaster combination, we can manipulate power, we can manipulate spectrum. We're gonna have this a full spectrum, and we're gonna have this a high PPFD. We're gonna have the middle ones at middle PPFD, and the far one at low PPFD. Then what we're gonna do is we have 3 different hoses of irrigation over here, and we're gonna give one lane a lot of water, middle lane, middle water, middle ground, the last lane, light water. Same strain being grown in the same room, same environment, same temperature, same humidity, same CO2, same light, same everything. Except the difference is obviously strength in light and irrigation. So we'll be able to see what that plant likes and reacts the best to. This quadrant over there might be huge and it fucking yielded, 3.5 pounds of light. But it didn't have the structure you're looking for. Maybe you're breeding specific for hash. But this quadrant over there happened to have the perfect nug structure, super frosty. All the buds were symmetrical and stuff like that, and the same size, and it yielded more. So then that's what that plant liked. So then you're gonna say, okay, middle PPFD, light water. If that one was better or that one over there was better, then okay, they like high PPFD, high water content, whatever it is. So then you take that strain and what it likes. You take that strain into the next room where it says the proving grounds, and you're really gonna put it through a rigorous amount of testing where you're gonna really hone that plant and find out exactly what it likes. Not just the high PPFD, but what on that other room we have 2 feeding systems, so we can change 2 totally different line of feeds, or same line of feed with 1 powder, 1 liquid, or we can feed a plant the same line, everything, and just take a booster out, or add a booster. We can give a different temperature. We can give it different oxygenation levels, different pH, different EC. And then the next step would be light recipes, different spectrum. So after about a year and a half, this one's simple. This is, 1 run, maybe 2 runs, what it likes. Once it goes over there, there's so many tests that you need that, Land Special light after a year and a half, I pretty much honed that plant to know what it likes. I'm gonna sell you that clone with a USB drive, an SOP, and you're gonna stick that SOP into your HydroX Pro, and from the fucking rip, you're gonna score, you're gonna win from day one, because I already did all the testing for you. And I know what that plant likes, you know, what intensity, what light recipe, what feed, you know, what EC levels, what pH levels and stuff like that. So it's kind of like I set it and forget it. Kind of like the rotisserie guy.
That's dope, man. That's really cool.
So that's the thought process.
You know, even if you, no matter what style of grower you are, to be able to do this many levels of testing and this many different changes in dialing to find different strains, I don't care what medium you're in, this is where you want to go to be able to optimize any plant. It's not just like, oh, well, because he's in hydro or because you're doing, this is any style plant to find the ultimate, like 100%. This plant is at 100% peak epigenetic health and is producing at 100% its quality without being over pushed, you know what I'm saying, without being overdriven. You can get there this way in 3-4 runs without having to go through years of being like, well, after 10 years, I finally know what this strain needs.
Correct. And when you say not overran, we're gonna fuck shit up here, but we're gonna do it on purpose. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, like for example, you go into that room, we're gonna have, let's say 10 lanes, and we'll go over there in a minute. I'm gonna run these three rows at a certain light spectrum. And then the next ones, I'm gonna start fucking with it. You know what I'm saying? On one, whether it's the deep red or the far red, and I'm gonna decrease it or increase it by 10 or 20%. There's gonna be a good one, there's gonna be a worse one. So then you know, okay, it didn't like to go down, maybe it likes to go up. So what happens with those? With those that aren't, let's say, worthy of a bag for a flower bag because they're not eye appealing, doesn't mean that it's bad. They go to concentrates, you know what I'm saying? It's good weed, it's just people, you know how people are, if it's not fucking like a model, you know, with the glamour and the makeup, they don't like it. So, but we wanna be able to do that testing here just so we can give, I want to be able to give that feedback back to the consumer. Say, hey, you know, tell you, hey, these lights work best with this strain at this light intensity, this spectrum, and get feedback to the customer, to the client. You know, because I sell lights, I sell controllers, so I want them to succeed. If they succeed, I succeed. You know what I'm saying? If they succeed, then they can make money. We all make money. So everybody's a happy family.
You further cannabis, I mean, you could end up finding out that this spectrum paired with this type of feeding, now we're getting hash levels producing, you know, you could really start to fine tune whatever medium. And I just want to keep pushing that across because a lot of people like to just be like, oh, well, it's soil or it's hydro, so this doesn't mean anything for me, or he's doing something completely different than what would apply to me. This is a dialing in process for optimization of plant health.
Not really, and eventually, trust me, I'll do some cocoa in here too. I mean, I sell cocoa, so I want to try cocoa.
There you go.
And I want to see if there's a difference between, you know, this table full of cocoa and this table full of Rockwell.
Same strain.
See what difference were, same strain, same everything in the room. So just remember, Showmaster Think Ground is really the proving grounds.
It's such a dope room, man. Super cool.
F2 is flower room 2. Is the second single tier room that we have in here, 60 lights, roughly about 1,000 plants. And what's different from this room to F1 is that we have 2 feeding systems, as you can see right here. We have 2 feeding systems, and we can isolate 1 bench against 9, 2 against 8, 7 against 3, 6 against 4, and so on, 5 by 5. What we can do is skip the table every other one. So we can run 2 different nutrient lines, or same nutrient line, one dry salts, 1 synthetic, you know, liquids, or an additive, a booster, different temperatures, different oxygenation levels, different pH, different ECs. So it can really be God to the plant to the point that there's no end in sight for any test. We also what we're going to do in this room too is do a lot of light spectrum recipes and see what each plants react to, what do they like better, you know. It might be the same thing to our visual eyes, but when you send it to a test lab, it might have slightly different terpenes, potency or cannabinoids. So it's not just for bag appeal, but maybe for terpene production or bigger heads, smaller heads, you know, for hash, and see really fine tune what that cultivar will pull off. So you can come in here, follow me. You can see that's pretty much the same thing as. Pretty much the same scenario as the other rooms, a mirror image, but we can feed it from two different systems, 2 delivery systems.
What type of fans are those?
These are high velocity fans. They're Patterson fans.
Man, those are killer.
Yeah, they blow about 12,600 CFMs. If I was to do it again, I probably would stick to the 22s. I don't think the 30s are needed. By the way, in the future, you will see those from us. And they'll speak to Hydrex controller without BFDs or anything like that. Whole new fan lines coming. So I just snuck a peek of something that's coming.
Why bring all your plumbing down from the ceiling?
Well, funny that you asked that. Okay, this was a single tier room. This wasn't originally supposed to be. This is called a tracked geared bench. If you see this, it has these are grow glides, by the way.
Look at those. Look at the wheel. It's almost like a car.
These are grow glide, by the way, grow glide benches. If you see that we have roughly it's about a 9-foot swing here. 9-foot swing. Somebody could say, hey, you could fit another 4-foot table. Yes, you could, but I like to be able to separate the tables so there's breathing room in between the tables, that they both, they get airflow in between the tables. But also, one of the important things is that you usually have a group of guys in here, 3 or 4 working. If there's a guy in an aisle fiddling with one zip tie because the trellis came out, whatever, there's 3 guys on the fucking aisle with a dick in a hand. Sorry for the cursing, but with their hand thumb up their butt, and they're not doing anything. There's 3 guys over there watching this guy fiddle with a zip tie. Well, he can't do nothing. So what you can do with this is you can space all these to where you can have 2 super comfortable aisles, 4.5 foot aisles, 3 3-foot aisles, or even 3 2-foot aisles that people be working, and then another one somebody can go do something. So you can work on multiple aisles. Minimum work on 2 aisles at a time, minimum. 3 is great. So I like to leave a little bit of space. Obviously the benches are not gonna sit like this. They're going to be spaced off. Another good thing about this is if you have anything up there, I can bring a lift in here, I can bring a ladder in here, and I can service the fans, service the lights, and not have to work over the top of the bench, put a scaffolding and stuff like that. These are our Model I Pluses, over 3,000 diodes in these lights. They have far red, deep red, UV, and white diodes. If you can see, let me lower these. If you come
Look,
over
that's
here,
right above us.
I can operate them all at once or individually from a handheld remote like I did here. It's stuck. Somebody's got the limit switch. They didn't play with it. It's going back. Are you doing it? Are you playing with it?
Wow.
Huh?
Look at that.
Okay.
Turn up the disco, man. Let's go. The versatility is just epic.
Right, so something that's super slick about this is the daisy chains. The daisy chains. If you look over here, Lance, we only had to provide one location of power for this whole row. So you don't see multiple outlets on the ceiling dropping down with cords. So looking like
6 lights chained up. Yep.
Like sloppy Joe. And by the way, our daisy chain cords are ETL listed. One of the only ones in the market. And right now where this junction box is, we're going to have, I think it's an OPA called, which is another junction box that's going to tell you how many amps this whole string or row of lights is taking up. And if it's over, if you run too much power, if you hook up too many lights to it, it'll shut it down.
But it's a live read of it.
Live read of it, correct.
Oh,
and it's also going to be wireless, where it's going to send a signal to a device that we're going to install in this room, and wirelessly it'll talk to the Hydrex and it'll tell you how many amps, how much power you're using in this room for the lights, and also we're going to do it to all the fans and anything that's got a motor in this room. We'll be able to get data from and see how much power is taken, so we'll know what the room's costing you.
And then I see this custom gutter system. This is epic, man. I love how this is. So this is, I know you've shown this before, but this is so that when this empties out, it can empty into here and then just flow down. And
correct.
It's just a seamless movement, right? You have to figure out new plumbing transitions as these this type of thing is built?
Well, since the racks move from side to side, roughly, they got an 8-foot or 9-foot span. You could put floor drains, but that was just so costly that I just figured this would be roughly about the same thing. Just it's exposed and they can clean it, whatever it is.
It's replaceable. You can get in there. It's a great improvisation.
Back to the answer to your question of why go from the ceiling. These hoses were supposed to come from this unit strut, and it was going to go up and down, but the benches only has so much range of motion. But since we have 8-foot swing, we had to go from the top. The higher it is, the less it swings. If it would have been from here, you'd have to have a lot slack of hose, and it would crumble onto the plant. So that's why we went high.
Yeah, I mean, there'd be no working behind here if it was that way. Right. Now you could get behind here and almost walk behind. Yeah.
And here's the spigots that are in between every other rack, and then this is how we feed the fans underneath each rack.
Really neat, man. Innovative.
Cool. Let's go. Let's go to a double tiered. Let's go to a double tiered room. By the way, this is our CO2 injection system. We're not injecting CO2 into this room like most people do with a solenoid or a regulator. We're doing direct burst, whereas, for example, like if you're at a club and they want to chill the club, and they let I guess it's CO2 too. But this is a solenoid. This is the regulator, let's say, and then the sensor would be the Hydrox Pro sensor that senses the levels, and it does a burst that you'll set to where it's 15 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, and it sounds pretty loud. It's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, like a direct inject. That's really neat. This is absolutely gorgeous. This is like a work of art for anybody. The amount of thought and layout and which goes where and how everything runs and how to turn, unbelievable, man.
One thing that we're gonna do, once again, style points, is once these dosers are hooked up and everything they're feeding, they're going to be hooked up to this. So when they're feeding, they're going to turn on.
Oh,
and then what we're going to do is we're going to do the mango green.
That's so sick.
And then I'm gonna rig this right now. The wire broke, but I'm going to show you what the top is real quick. Bam. So that's the true mango top, and then it's going to be like a mango because it's going to be green at the bottom. So I'm rigging it right now because I broke the wire. But it's going to be the orange glow, the green glow.
That's so awesome.
The true mango.
Oh, it's
feel.
awesome, man. That is so awesome. So this is the double stack room.
This is a production room.
Woo. Man, look at this room.
This is a production room, first production room.
Cow.
This is a Grow Glide double tiered room, 130 lights. 130 lights.
Look how everything moves together.
Yeah,
Plants on there, nice and smooth, no jerky movements. The nugs end up no stress. Really cool, man. Very technical, very like surgery almost, like science. Very scientific way of growing. Very scientific way of finding the right way to the solution. Really neat.
So these are air glides from. These are the air glides from Grow Glide company. They're a company based out of SoCal. Pretty cool header. Air delivery system. It has 4 5.5 inch tuck socks that go the length of the rack, and they shoot air on top of the canopy. What's pretty cool is the round is the direction of flow, like it says, like a header is designed. Is a header, or as I say, it's a butt.
Yeah. And so you have different rooms have different style setups, so you go almost testing different kinds once plants get live, or what?
Well, it's just featuring other racking companies in the facility. Like I said, I think we picked 3 of the best most well-known racking companies that are out there, which are Innovative Grows Equipment, Montel Rack, and we're in one of the rooms from Grow Glide. I think they're the best ones in the business. So it just made sense to have them in our facility featuring their products because they're the best, and we think we have some of the best controllers and lights out there. The racks are pretty much the bait to get people to want to come and see how they're plumbed, because they were professionally designed for irrigation and for for minimal amount of parts that break. You know, a lot of people put a bunch of filters everywhere. What I like to do is I always like to ride the plumbing on the left side, electric on the right side, because the plumbing can ride all the way down in it unobstructed all the way down here. Thanks.
Yeah, you're good,
unobstructed to the tray. So,
Oh, you got it? All right, cool.
yeah. So some people ride it down the right, but then you gotta deal with this deal, and then you gotta do more.
Well, you're literally showcasing different techniques, and every grow is so different that you could come through here, schedule an appointment with you, pay for a consulting job if you're available, and basically, this guy's been through everything. You name the racking system, you name the setup, you've built it, you know it. I mean, come on, bro, this is exceptional.
I pretty much do consulting, but at my facility, I show you kind of what I did, what I think you should do. Tours are free here as long as you can prove that you're going to purchase products from us. How do I go about that? I ask you if you have a set of blueprints. Send me a set of blueprints or a preliminary set of plans to allow you to come in. Tours take me 2 to 3 hours. I do 2 tours a day on Tuesdays and two tours on Thursdays. So they take a lot of time. There's everybody that wants to do a tour, but you know, unfortunately, I can't do a tour for everybody. But I got a solution for that. About 1.5 miles from here, 2 miles from here, you're one of the first people that I've told this to. Is we already signed the lease. It's under construction right now. We're actually building a Mango Tech store, a brick and mortar Mango Tech store. It's about 12,000 square feet. Half of it is storage. We're working on another bay that's another 6,400 square feet. So it'll be total of 19,000 square feet. The last 6,400 square feet is going to be divided into a third and 2/3. A third is going to be commercial sales office to sell lights, and they're going to sell light maps. We're going to do also Daisy chain cord maps, because when somebody has a facility that's 3,000 lights, they need to know where to drop the electric, because obviously you can't do an infinite amount of lights. Every so often you have to drop an outlet. So we'll design that for the big MSOs that usually have 3, 4, 5,000 lights. And then also we'll do a controller map of where do you run the cables to, and eventually we're going to do a flow map of the air, how it flows in your room with the racking systems that you have. So we're going to be a turnkey, full service design team for companies.
Dialed.
We'll also include, you know, Plum Dog Millionaire to help us out with irrigation plans on CAD for that. The 2/3 left of that space is going to be an actual brick and mortar branded hydro store, where we feature the lights, the controllers, and in that space we're going to do a 10 light grow room, just like this, that's going to have every controller, every light that you could think of in there, that anybody, any walks of life can walk into there and play with the controllers, you know, and see how the professionals install the equipment in a grow room.
Pretty cool, man.
Cool.
Yeah, this is like this is like the classroom for people who are advanced at cultivation. Like, if you're an advanced cultivator and then you come into here, it's just, your mind starts to wander, because we've dialed in feedings and you dial in strains, but this is just the next level of dialing. Like, cool. That's all I could think about fireweed.
Yeah, buddy.
Wow, man, this is beautiful, dude.
F3 is 130 light room. F with Model H's from Think Row. F4 is a 104 light room, Model W from Think Row. All operated by Showmaster Hydro-X in the cabinets. This is a Montel. This is a Montel racking system. It's a Canadian company. Super smooth operating. Sorry for the mess, it's a little dirty. We're going to be cleaning it up. Same thing, we did mount the air glide onto the Montel racks just to show that they have versatility and you can hook them up in any other rack. Pretty simple. Cool. Just a little dirty. We got to clean her up a little bit. Spin that thing.
Oh, yeah? Oh, dude.
The traction going back and forth.
This is impossible not to be able to do it. I mean, you really...
3-year-old can spin that thing.
And I mean, it's really cool too, because, you know, I know a big thing in Colorado is disabled and being able to still work in gardens, or, you know, easeability for people who aren't going to pick up 50 plants at once, or, you know, whole trays. And so real cool.
This is second biggest room in the facility. This is F5. It's a 120 light room. This is where we shot the commercial for air glides, and we actually put these tassels everywhere to test the airflow. We ran the undercarriage fans, then we ran the top fans, and then we ran these fans to see how all this flows. You know, and it's pretty impressive. Tyler, see if you can put the bottom fans first. I believe. Turn on the lights too first, please, if you can. Did you get them? No? The breaker might not be on, so it won't turn on. What about the fans? No. And let's go to another room. It's not necessary.
No worries.
Yeah. We're doing some upgrade on the lights, and the guy comes every so often to do upgrades, and then when he does an upgrade, it messes with the controller.
Yeah, they gotta shut certain stuff down to do this or flip that. Yeah.
This is where the magic happens. This is strictly Pheno hunt room. Nothing but seats in here. It's a 24 light LED room. 24 light LED room. Nothing but seeds in this thing. So we can wet about 800 seeds and go down to about 600, roughly, whether they're on one strain or 150 on one strain, 150 on one strain, and then figure it out. Once we have the lab next door, the guys from the lab can come here week 8 with their black glove like Rex taught us all, and touch the plants and see if it's sandy or greasy, and where that pheno is going to go, whether it's going to be water extraction or whether it's going to be BHO extraction, and then that beautiful girl that's going to be the cover girl, most photogenic.
Hash, testing, flower, pushing the envelope, man. It really is. This is epic.
Yeah. And then so that's about it. Let's go to the dry rooms. Dry rooms are right next door. We have 2 dry rooms.
Here we go.
Dry rooms are under construction. I think a lot of people have seen these racks on some of my posts. What I did here is I partnered up with this company right here. It's called Maker's Pipe. When I first made these racks, I made them out of electrical parts. So this company, we're going to call these Miami Mango drying racks. And the cart, so you make the cart, so you stick this in here, you take it to the grow room, you have S hooks, you hang your plants, you bring 6 racks into here, you come over here, guy in a ladder, you hang the racks, you fill the whole top, and then they put them on here, and then there's, okay, so all the weeds dried. What you do is you take this rack, you take it off, you put it on that dolly, and then everybody can either buck on the floor right here. They can buck or spear your branches into a tub. Once you're done with that, then you collapse all the racks, you raise them, and then you can put tables here where you can trim. So this is a 3-in-1 room. You can dry, you can trim, and you can store weed in the same room. And we have 2. So we're utilizing the space efficiently, and we're saving space.
Yeah, all replaceable too.
Exactly. A lot of people, we did them with wire before. We figured that if there's ever an issue, you know how the state likes to change the laws, and then they'll ban products later on. If it's a product that you were using for a long time and they banned that product, so then the resin might get into the next batch. So then it's easy to just take it off. You have the frame, and you put new. This is deer netting.
Oh wow!
This is
real
deer
strong.
netting. This is deer netting. Yeah, it's pretty durable.
Systematic process.
Exactly.
This is killer, man. Look at this. Jeez.
Yeah, the good thing is that you can wheel it into the.
Oh, look at that, just right
You can wheel it into the grow room.
Look at that. Goes right up just like the other ones. Really neat.
So this is like the last project. It's going to be needed the least or last. And we do have sinks in every. We have floor sinks in every dry room. So after every harvest, we can hose down the whole room. squeegee it back into the sink, and then we can start, clean fresh from scratch. We're gonna sand down the floors, coat them one more time so it's super white, and then we're gonna get sticker farmer, and label my bud. They're doing a collaboration, label my buds out of Ohio. They're gonna do this giant size vinyl stickers on the floor, and they get clear coated with UV. Every room's gonna have their own brand. So innovative for innovative gross equipment, those racks, Grow Glide, Montel, Moliere, Plum Dog, all that kind of stuff. Same thing with the filtration room. That's how we market.
Icing on the cake.
Gotta get that bread.
So are we wrapping up?
That's wrap.
Is that the wrap of the tour?
We can do the lab real quick. It was just an empty thing, but I can talk about the lab. Let's do it real quick. Let's do it. 5 minutes.
We'll end it with the lab.
Let's go. Cool.
Come on, man. Mangolandia.
Mango Land, baby. Mango Land. Let's go.
Super exclusive first smoke of the day for you.
Yeah. Okay.
And okay. Not to stay on camera.
We just got done with phase one. Phase one's the cultivation facility / distribution. We're gonna go next door to what's gonna be phase 2 or 3. I guess 2 now took over the Mangotech store. This could be phase 3. There's gonna be a phase 4 too, by the way. So come follow me.
You live in a full Mangotech store.
Woo, a little dark in here. It's a little dark in here, but this is what you're going to, this is going to be the lab. We doubled this as a storage warehouse for all our lights, our racks, while we did the construction over here. This is approximately 4,000 square feet. Those were ThinkPro 480 volt lights, ballast that we tested for 6 months, 24 hours a day. They were on the whole time, and not one light went bad, so we did good. That was a good test. But anyway, this whole space is going to be a wash, BHO, wash, hash lab, BHO lab, and a packing. So we can be single source, and hopefully the guys here can help us pick out what are the best strains for hash or for BHO. I mean, you could pick up, you might have a strain and you might have 3 phenos. One that washed the best, the other one that was good for BHO production, and then that one good looking one that's the one that's going to be the photogenic to promote that strain. So, one strain could be 3 phenos, or it could be the one, it could be 2, it could be 1, whatever, but this is what it's going to be.
Epic.
I think this about wraps up the tour.
So this is going to be the lab?
This is going to be the lab.
It's going to be the lab, man.
It's going to be a lab.
Mangolandia.
So that was behind the
scenes. Do I need to tell you guys about the food truck that I'm going to put outside too?
Oh,
yeah.
Let's go out there.
All right, let's go, baby. Woo!
I wish it was there right now.
My man don't stop, yo.
No, he doesn't.
Right here live, Sacramento.
Think about another guy with this much passion.
Not a food truck, but a food trailer.
Food trailer.
Food trailer.
Love it. Can you imagine?
Right here, check it out. Last but not least, little project that I'm gonna do. I like to cook. I like good food. I think we both like good food.
Yep.
And there's really no good food around this area. This is District 6 in Sacramento. Right behind me is the area where I'm gonna have this is maybe in a year and a half, maybe sooner. But we're gonna have like a 40-foot trailer with some really good food. Really good food, because how else am I gonna meet everybody else around here in District 6? Food brings everybody together, just like cannabis brings everybody together. And then here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say, any facility owners in Sacramento, is Monday, Owner Monday, come on out, I'll buy you lunch. Come on out, me mango, and then I'm gonna give him a tour. I'll sell him lights. Do a little network. Maybe I buy his weed, he buys my weed. Same thing with trimmers. If I need trimmers come on out, fill an application.
Appreciation Day.
Appreciation Day, exactly. Come on out. So this is one of the next projects that I'll probably pick is a nice food trailer. No, we wanted to go as a trailer. We're gonna have just hamburgers, chicken wings. Everything is but Mexican. I mean, 15 out of 10 trucks here are Mexican. So, pretty much they're all Mexican. So I figure.
No, I love watching you cook on your channel, bro. Crazy.
So
crazy.
Maybe we'll go at Miami Grill, or or Mango Grill, whatever it is. But plus, my guys can come over here. They can eat some good food and stay close to the job. Like I said, once you're out of here, there's really no good food around this area. So that's it. That's the last project.
Awesome.
Try to.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Say no to Tri-Tip.